Speaking about Marcel Reed and just his development, how important has that been for you guys to be able to be so multiple in your attack, just the way he's been able to progress this season?
Yeah, no, I've been really proud of him, and even these last 3, 4, 5 weeks that he's kind of put together and really grown in a lot of areas. I think we've been and will be a very, very multiple based offense to where we put a lot on his plate and have from the jump. And I think he's been managing it really well. I think our efficiency has increased the last few weeks in large part because of his ability to get through progressions, check down the football, be really decisive when, okay, hey, it's time to pull the ball down and run, and doing so in a very, very aggressive, assertive, timely manner, and has kept us in much, much better positions on third down, has created obviously a ton of explosive plays with him running the football and scrambles as well. And so really, really helps me as a play caller, obviously, when you're staying in those manageable situations, when you're getting those explosive plays to be able to continue to try to call the game aggressively. So, and that's a credit to him.
Coach, we'll go to the right, second row. Olin.
Yeah, Collin, about 13 years ago this time, you were a Heisman Trophy candidate.
Yeah, about 30 pounds ago, too.
Yeah. So, having experienced that, do you look at how much do you look at Marcel as being a Heisman candidate now, and what do you think? Where do you think that's going to go from here?
Well, I think first and foremost that it is a team award. You're not even in that conversation unless you're winning football games and winning big football games, and that's a complete team deal, right? And credit to everyone on the offensive side of the ball for making it all happen around him, right? And he knows that and has grown and is a tremendous leader, through every position group in that way. And the other part is there's still a lot of season left, right? And we got to really keep our heads down and be very, very process driven, which he has been, and we've been able to do, down the stretch here.
Should he be a candidate?
Absolutely.
Coach to the left, third row.
We've seen you guys kind of get creative in short yardage situations with the T formation and stuff. What kind of advantage does going under center give you kind of schematically in that aspect?
It's that's an interesting question because there's times, obviously at times you're able to get it in the ball carrier's hands, not at a shotgun type depth. But there's also times that when you do have a dual threat quarterback that it can hurt you because you can't control an extra defender in whatever type of read game or scheme that you're running. And so it's been good for us. We have some wrinkles out of it, have some more in the hopper ready to go. But at the end of the day, it's a little bit based on whatever short yardage package that we're going against that week.
To the right, Carter.
What's maybe impressed you the most about the offensive line this season?
Well, I think first of all, just their mentality and approach from the get-go has been outstanding. I mean, they come to work every day. They're prepared. They have great energy. Obviously, two of our captains are out of that unit and do a great job that way for our team and obviously our offense. Coach Cushing does a great job with those guys, and we're able to put a very, very big run game package on the field every week, right? And you can't do that if they're not very, very intelligent football players. They work at it and they're prepared in this league with all the different things that we have to face. And so the way they attack that and allow us to be able to put a lot of pressure on people in the run game is huge. And then the way they've pass protected and battled against some of the rushers in this league, like it's been really good.
And how have you handled sort of the national outlets talking about your name as a potential head coach this coming off season, and how interested are you in staying at A&M long term?
Well, I think Coach Elko said it best a week ago or whatever that was. But, again, it's an honor, and it means you're doing something right. It's a credit to our players and our entire staff here of what we've been able to do. And, like I said, there's a lot of season left and a lot of big things ahead of us.
Okay, second row, Alex.
Similar to Olin's question, when you were in the thick of that as a player going through that 2012 season in particular, what's the hardest part of dealing with the success that comes with being the quarterback and the leader, and maybe some of the lessons, encouragement, advice that you've imparted to Marcel as you guys continue to have this strong start to the season?
Yeah, and I think a big part of that, and the best part about that is it's truly where your foundation is, you know, and I think I was very fortunate going through it myself with the leaders and the leadership that I had with Coach Snyder and his staff, and my support system with my parents and family, like to have the foundation that, hey, it doesn't matter how much credit you get, positive or, you know, hardship, negative, you know, publicity that way. It's not who you are. It's not why you do it. And Marcel is very, very blessed in that same way. Like his foundation, his core, his wiring is right, you know, and he cares about his teammates greatly. He cares about doing not just the right thing, but doing it the right way, and all those things, and really just trying to block out the noise. And it's a one play at a time mentality, a one game at a time mentality, and you know, the chips will fall where they will.
And then with the offensive line too, just where have you seen them improve the most throughout this season in particular?
You know, I think we've been able to, I think our physicality has increased through the course of the season. You know, you look at, you know, these last couple games down the stretch of being able to really assert ourselves and grab control of ball games. You know, it starts there, you know, and with their level of physicality and attack mentality up front's been big time.
Front right, Travis.
Collin, what goes into the what was the process in dusting off the old T formation?
You know, it was had seen it on tape a couple different ways, and a couple people have used it in different ways, and a couple guys on our staff had some history with it, and you know, when they load it, put a hat in every gap on the inside to be able to crash down an edge and see if we can get a crease. So it's been good for us.
And how do you figure out that Nate's the best person for the fullback there?
You know, I think a little bit of it just in practicing and working on those things, he's been pretty natural at it, and been really secure with it through those exchanges, and does a great job in those same positions and some of the blocking things that we have out of those sets. So it was a good fit.
And then looking ahead to your future, whenever an opportunity arises that makes the most sense, would head coaching be something that you'd like to get into down the line?
Absolutely. It's been a dream and a goal of mine, but it's about being with the right people at the right time, and that's here right now, and again, a long way to go.
All the way in the back, Donna.
Coach, after Le'Veon went down, back here.
Oh, sorry.
Just how pleased are you with the way that the rest of the running back room has been able to step up? And it seems like you can kind of call on a different guy every game and still get the job done.
Well, it's a full stable, you know, as they call themselves, and we call them, and so it's credit to them, a credit to, again, just Coach Troop and everything that he's done in that room of those guys competing, but helping each other and supporting each other and carrying the load whenever their numbers called, you know, and allowing us to do a lot of two-back stuff with two guys out there. You know, grabbing, you know, in the 4-minute drill a couple times in the last couple weeks of being able to keep us on the field in some critical times, and you know, reward the work of that offensive line and tight ends and everybody else blocking for them to finish, you know. And so it's a great room. Every one of them has a little bit of a unique skill set, but their mentality is the same.
To the right, third row, David.
Collin, can you speak to the emergence of Ashton the last couple of weeks? He's making it harder to double those other guys.
Yeah, well, it's just been a matter of time, you know, and we've known that, we've seen that. I mean, so I think it's been great to see those plays kind of finally come to fruition for him. Credit to him. I mean, he's had as good a week of practice as he's had the last 2 to 3 weeks, you know, and his mentality is even ramped up as the season has progressed. And so being able to get that, you know, get the ball going his way has been really, really impressive, and he's capitalized.
Front left, Tony.
Coach, obviously the screen game has been a big part of you guys' offense this year, and it's feel like situationally they've come at really good times. So without giving up trade secrets, can you talk about just as a play caller when the feel and the sense for those moments come for you?
Man, I don't know. I think it is just that. It's time, feel, field position. The other thing it does is it allows us to distribute the football, right, and kind of get some of those dynamic playmakers in space and get them started. And it's all the fancy lines go for naught unless guys execute, and they've done a great job of getting in front of guys and blocking and giving us some explosives in that screen game.
Coach will stay to the left. Rob?
Howdy, Coach.
How we doing?
So as the season has progressed and, with this talent that's come in, does that help open up the playbook for you? As Coach Elko mentioned, when E.J. Smith goes out there and he produces, then he's going to get more touches. Do you kind of feel that way with everyone, that as they're continuing to produce, that it allows you to open up the playbook? And as a bye week, a time that you can kind of maybe add something to the playbook?
Well, I think it's something that we, from a playbook standpoint, and how I've always done it, and I think is just a really good way to do it, is it's building the puzzle based on what you're going against that week. So it's not like, hey, we're going to ever run these plays, or we have to build it to help exploit a weakness or a matchup or something that we see that given week. Our guys have done a great job because we've had multiple games where 6+ guys are getting receptions, and that ball is going across the board to 2 or 3 different tight ends, to 2 or 3 different running backs, to 3 or 4 different wide receivers, and then you have your quarterback involved in the run game. And so they've all bought into the fact that, hey, the more everyone brings to the table, the more that we all can eat. And so I think their unselfishness, you got a great example. We were running a mesh play on Saturday, and Mario's talking about how he thinks the tight end's going to be open because how they're playing their man coverage, and guys are buying in, and that gets me really excited because they're buying into the big picture concept of, hey, we're doing this together, we're all helping each other, and hey, it's all going to work out how it should based on how they play us, and we're all going to find a way. It's like that's the unselfish teammate that is across the board through all of those rooms that. I don't know how many. I want to get KC and Mario and Marcel and Ashton all get the touches that need to happen. But at the same time, it's about winning the game, and whatever happens, whatever needs to be done on every single play, that's what needs to get done. And seeing them buy into that group effort is awesome.
Coach, all the way in the back. Tyler?
Collin, are there kind of new wrinkles of the offense that you instill or you work on in the bye week, or is this kind of more of just going over what's been done up to this point?
Has it been that boring? You guys are asking me for all this new stuff. I didn't think. I'm just kidding. No, again, it's a lot of it is so dictated by what we're seeing, what the personnel packages we're going against, front structures, all of those things, and yeah, I think the different ways that we can get our playmakers the ball, we're going to try to find new wrinkles to do that, every week. But at the end of the day, I think the good part is we've shown ability to be able to push the ball down the field and be explosive, get the ball out in space on the edges with either attachments or screen game or jet sweep run game. Been able to pound the ball and be physical in between the tackles in the run game, and so I think that just that alone of the different amount of things that we're able to do puts a lot of stress on defenses.
And at the start of that second half, that first drive, every play except for one, I think, was a run play. I know some of those probably Marcel scrambling, but was that very much by design? And how much is establishing the run, and especially in that game and the future, critical to the success of your offense?
Yeah, no, I mean, that was not in my head on that particular drive. Like you said, kind of worked out that way with a couple scrambles, and then got into the red zone and was able to finish. But again, it's all kind of just drive dependent, situational dependent.
Coach will stay all the way in the back. Donna again.
Just staying with the running backs real quick, Jamari, and just how have you seen him continue to progress throughout the season? Obviously, he's gotten a lot more action over the last few weeks.
really excited about all the things that he's doing, and again, a little bit like Ashton, like didn't know exactly when all of his opportunities would come, but he's made the most of them. For a young player, his capacity from a game plan standpoint is as good as I've been around, you know, and I think will continue to grow. His ball skills and ability to catch it, you know, along with being a really, really strong, powerful back for his size, are really excited just to continue to feature him.
We'll go to the right in the back, Chris.
Coach, have you ever used a O-line rotation like you're doing this year with healthy guys? And kind of what went into the thought process of playing 7 guys at the O-line every game?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a little bit of a luxury. I think a little bit of it is depth and keeping guys fresh, you know, and being able to cross-train the Trey Zunes and guys to be able to play those different positions. You know, heaven forbid, again, injury insurance, if something were to happen, it provides a little bit of a broader, you know, foundation to work from that way, and keeping guys fresh.
Go second row to the left, Aaron.
Hey, Coach. Just wondering, just kind of from a broad standpoint, just what do you think the biggest difference from last year to this year has been from an offensive standpoint?
I think our competitive maturity has continued to grow through the course of this season, and I think it's I've been so proud of our guys. You know, their ability to not flinch or, you know, not get rattled if things aren't going well or if there's a bad play or a bad series, just to stay the course, keep competing, not even worrying about necessarily where the score is or what's going on. I think that's really stood out to me in games, whether we've been up or down, for their ability just to sustain and continue to compete, continue to play and believing that, hey, good things will happen if we do that, and their ability to do that.
To the right, front row, Carter.
What adjustments, if any, have you had to make since Moss went down, and why do you think you guys have been able to handle that so well as compared to last season?
Well, I think it's, again, it's a credit to the running back room and their ability to step up and continue to carry the load. Credit to our offensive line and being able to maintain the consistent effort. And then, you know, the last few weeks too, Marcel's done a really, really nice job of being able to add some +1 situations, you know, to the run game.
Early in the year, when Marcel was maybe struggling with his deep ball a little bit, had some overthrows, Elko had said that it was almost like he was sped up, but getting maybe a little too excited. Is there anything you did to help him kind of clean that up? Because it seems like over the last few weeks that really hasn't happened, and he's shown some improvement in that area.
Yeah, I think there was definitely some just getting settled down with live bullets, live speed, footwork, and comfortability in the pocket or whatever the situation was early. I think, too, something we talked about was not trying to just be so perfect with it, you know, and almost trying to just put it just perfect on that spot and over aiming it almost to where it's just like, hey, they're gonna go get it for you. Put it in a spot, trust them to where you're not just trying to aim it, you know, all the time down the field. So been proud of him and the work that those wideouts have been doing, tracking it down.
We'll go to the left, second row, Alex.
Sticking with Marcel, he said after the game on Saturday that he feels like the area he's made the most progress in the SEC play is taking what the defense has given him. I'm just curious, how do you coach that? And what was maybe a moment these last few weeks where you saw him do that well, that you saw that growth?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that we talk about all the time. I think it's a little bit of just that continued culmination of experience and game reps in certain schemes versus certain looks. And, you know, you saw it a couple times, I think, in the Arkansas game early. You know, we're running curl flat, and he gets all the way through it to that back check down in the flat. And a couple times like that really did a nice job of letting that defense dictate where that football goes. But it's something we work on all the time, and every quarterback at every level constantly does. So it's something you never get too good at.
And then for all the success that you guys have had, where would you like to see this offense improve and maybe fine tune as y'all hit the home stretch?
Yeah, I think it's continuing the trend for sure. The last few weeks, I think we have to continue to be more efficient and keep ourselves out of 3rd and longs. have to protect the football, especially in the red zone, and make sure that we're not kicking field goals and we get in there for touchdowns. I think that's the biggest thing.
Coach, we'll stay in that same row, second row.
Hey, Coach, what have you seen in terms of receivers like running the right routes and making the right decisions?
Well, I think it's we're really, really proud of that group. I think to your point, I think from a route discipline standpoint, sharpness of routes and cuts, route depths, timing and patterning things to get to the right spaces at the right times, I think has really been an emphasis that we've worked really, really hard through the off season and through fall camp, and then watching those guys work together to continue to progress and elevate that through the course of the season is why we're throwing it better, and that's we're really, really proud of the work that they've put in.
Front right, Travis.
Hey, Collin. Mario has a ton of yards after catch. Is that a part of a game that y'all knew would be successful for him when y'all were recruiting him? And is there a movie made or a tackle he's slipped out of this year that still sticks with you?
Well, I think first and foremost, his play strength is off the chart for his size. I mean, he is not a big wide receiver, but he plays big and he breaks tackles and he runs the ball when it's in his hands aggressively. And I think we knew it on tape. I think it's even proven with how hard he's worked in the weight room and adding the muscle and weight that he did this offseason and attacking that part of it made it exponentially even better. I don't know if he's done it a lot of times this season. I don't know if I could pick a better one than the Notre Dame one on that long play kicking out of that tackle. So, but yeah, he plays extremely hard.
We'll go to the left, third row, Matthew.
Coach, the offense has showcased a lot of versatility this season. Where do you see the ceiling for them?
I mean, I think the sky's the limit. I do. But we're gonna, and this comes from Coach Elko. I mean, it's a process-driven deal. I mean, there's not a day that goes by that we're not trying to get better, that we don't measure ourselves from a ball security standpoint, from a fundamental standpoint, a discipline penalty standpoint, and continuing to push every area that we possibly can to see where that limit is.
And then you didn't have comms when you were playing quarterback, but what do those conversations with Marcel look like with the microphone in the helmet?
Well, they're pretty one-sided. No, it's really good because there's layers to schemes that we can build that kind of help our hit rate. You know what I mean? And it kind of helps. We can package some plays. We can package some concepts to where we're able to kind of up our hit rate schematically on things and adjustments that he can make with the O-line or whether route concept in the passing game or whatever it is. So I think there's some layers there that really, really help. I think, I think there's a relationship piece between he and I that we can kind of, it bridges that gap a little bit too, that, we're talking to each other in practice, play to play, about what we're trying to do, in said scheme, and then that being able to carry to the game, I think builds that continuity.
We'll close out with Robert up front.
Seem to be running more jet sweeps this year with Craver and Concepcion, and along that, is that set their skill sets, and did they help you possibly, I don't want to use the word solve, but have you more vertically? I thought last year maybe you weren't able to stretch the field the way you wanted.
Well, I think first of all, we're a much faster unit for sure, which helps both of those things. I think we're blocking a lot better on the perimeter and doing a really, really nice job on those edges, which gives that, those speed guys creases, for really, really good yardage. The other thing it does for your run game, it gets eyes moving, it gets fits changing, it gets horizontal stretch that defense is worried about. No different than play action vertical stretch that causes strain, and I think it's a good complement to a lot of the things that we do.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Coach.
Thank you.